Hi everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are today. With me today, there is Mario. I'm Stefano Bellasio, CEO and co-founder at Anthropos. And today we want to present you what Anthropos platform does for your company, and specifically Anthropos Enterprise. And so we're going to talk about attracting and developing the perfect skills for every role that you have inside your organization. Mario, over to you.
Thanks, Stefano. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. This is Mario Lama, founding account executive here at Anthropos. And as Stefano said, today we want to give you a full overview about our platform, spending some time about the main use cases that we see in our active customers, and for sure, showing to all of you a full demo of the platform. Before giving you more details about Anthropos, is also important to give you how we developed Anthropos and some about our history. So please, Stefano, up to you about that.
Sure. Very quickly, because as Mario just said, we definitely want to give you guys a full demo of the platform today. So we basically got to Anthropos building a previous company that is called Cloud Academy. And in that case, we learned a lot about training enterprise teams and cloud technologies worldwide. While working with a lot of global customers and large organizations, it was very clear for us how developing people and specifically developing the right skills at scale in this organization was accelerating those businesses and was making them more competitive. And that's really why we decided, after selling Cloud Academy to one of the largest IT training providers in the world, we decided to basically build a platform that can help businesses develop and train their people for any type of skills they need and specific skills they will need in their roles, in their businesses today and tomorrow. So think of Anthropos as I would say a modern school inside your organization that allows you to map all the skills that you have, to map all the talent that you have inside your workforce, and then allows you to start developing that workforce toward building specific skills. And Anthropos is Greek for human beings. So of course, humans and people are part of our solutions and part of our focus as we build the company.
Thanks, Stefano. Thanks. Yeah, and just to mention something about my role, I'm essentially the first point of contact with our customers. So more than happy after that call to send it to you, the recording of that session, a copy of the slides, and for sure, as you will see on the last slide of this deck, we will also give you the opportunity today to give to all your team a free access to Anthropos for up to 10 users and for 14 days. But yes, let's go.
Awesome. So very briefly, what is Anthropos going to be doing for your business? So what we do really is actually connecting your people with the priorities of your business. How do we do that? So imagine Anthropos as a very engaging experience for your people. When you get into Anthropos, when your employees get into Anthropos, they get a profile with all their skills, their projects, their experience, and everything else that really they will be doing inside the platform when they learn new things or when they get to do some things with their skills. The second important thing is actually aligning your business and aligning the needs of that business with your people, growth and aspirations. So we know that 70% of millennials and Gen Z are joining companies where they can have a clear path ahead, so where they can basically have an understanding of how they will grow in that organization. And that's why we think that providing something like Anthropos really helps organizations to provide that clarity, that career path that these generations are looking for. Third, of course, we know that just learning any type of skill or teaching any type of skill is just part of the story for your organization. And so we've been building Anthropos to make sure that we can actually teach skills and roles that are critical to your business. What does it mean? It means that at the end of the day, with Anthropos, you can customize everything that is a skill, that is a role, that is a skill path. We're going to see that inside the demo, and make sure that all of those are aligned with your needs, with your priorities when it comes down to the business. Something that is really important, I think that at the end of the day, you want to make sure that everything that happens inside the organization, everything that happens at all management levels is ultimately going in the direction of promoting the right people, investing in the right people, because those people are going to be the ones that accelerate your business. So one of the core values at Anthropos and one of the core functionalities is actually removing biases from your organization, making sure that using skills and adopting skills across every single profile, across every single path, across every single role, you can actually make sure that all your managers, all your people are going to have an instrument, a tool to promote and invest in the right people, in the right leaders for the future. Last but not least, when we were designing Anthropos, of course, we've been thinking about the ability for you as a customer to centralize all your training, all your skills, or your data in one platform. And so with Anthropos, you can actually connect every type of library, every type of resource that might be in another library, meaning like another provider that you have, a content provider, or even like your proprietary content, and make sure that you can actually use our technology to do two things: to track those skills and verify the skills as well. So all of a sudden, Anthropos becomes, the single place, a very simple platform to make sure that all your people can access all the content, all the skills, all the data in a very easy way. And at the same time, you can track all of that and verify each single skill that they're going to acquire with that content, with that training. So again, we're going to show you a bit more in the next slide about the use cases, and then we're going to really let you visualize a lot of these things in the demo in about 5 minutes.
Great. Thank you, Stefano. So yes, as Stefano was saying right now, Anthropos is a platform that essentially can help our customer in different ways. And briefly, we will show you a demo where essentially you can see how it works in real, our platform. But here we try to summarize what we see as our main use cases, thanks also to the experience of our customers. So for sure, one of the feature that we will now go to show you is how it's easy to track and map all the skills of your workforce, but not only in terms of skills, but we wanted to give you an idea about works experiences, education, project, certification, all the relevant data that you see that can help your organization to see and to know more about your workforce. We also developed a technology named AI job simulation, where essentially we wanted to give you the opportunity using these custom sandboxes where essentially people can demonstrate and validate their skills, both so soft and hard skills on real scenarios. So the idea is to replicate real scenarios such as your job role, your task, your real project with your customer in a different ways. So we started thinking about, we wanted to improve the results of the classic assessment. Let me say that. But we really believe that the AI job simulation are not only useful for this kind of use case, but also to support and automate hiring processes, to teach and coach your people, and why not, to a new kind of training for your employees. The idea is that we wanted to give you the opportunity to our customer not only to track skills, validate skills of their workforce, but also to manage their career and their trainings, with the idea to say, okay, I can, as Stefano was saying right now, the idea is to aggregate from different sources, different content, different e-learning platform, and manage into unique view. Because I mean, we always say that if your people are using the platform, we win. If not, we lose. So the idea is that we wanted to give you a user-friendly platform for all your employees, with the idea to say, okay, I cannot just to manage also my training, to for upskilling, for reskilling themselves, for certification initiative. And during the demo that we will show you now, you also see how it's easy not only to create and customize AI job simulation, but also our skill paths. For sure, we wanted to continue as a provider of a software with the idea to say, okay, we wanted to partner with our customer, and the idea is that we wanted to show and to give in terms of usage of the platform, not only feature, but also content. So our mission is to help and support our customer in these two ways. And here, probably it's a real example of what I'm saying right now. So the idea is that Anthropos is not just a software platform, as we say here. We publish new content monthly. So the idea is that for sure, from a software and platform perspective, we are releasing new feature and improving the existing one on a weekly basis, because our idea is to continue improving the platform. But we want also to offer and continue to share with you our Anthropos library. So within the Anthropos library, you will see new job simulation every month, new skill spot focus on tech side, AI, Gen AI, marketing, and digital, etc. So the idea is wanted to help you, not starting from scratch with nothing, but with something. But as I say, both. So AI job simulation and skill pods will be definitely totally customizable on your side. So you can replicate your real scenarios with the idea to say, okay, if I have to use this platform within my workforce, I'd like to see my real scenarios, my real project, my real task. And yeah, I think that on this side, it's all for now, but I wanted to give you all the time to see the real demo now.
Awesome. Mario, if you can make me presenter, perfect, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, time for our demo. Give me a second. Now. Okay, should be able to see my screen. Not yet. Okay, here we go. Sorry. Just a bit of panic because my screen was not working and reacting. Okay, here we go. Let me walk you through what you're seeing now. And then today in our demo, we're gonna see two parts of Anthropos. We're gonna see basically the employee interface, which is basically what we're looking at now. And then I'm gonna show you later everything else that is on Anthropos Enterprise, and is more like our management dashboard and the enterprise admin section for managers and for administrators that are using our platform. So first of all, as I told you at the beginning, Anthropos creates a profile, a personal profile for every single employee inside the organization. Right now, I'm actually looking at my profile inside the in this demo account, which is managed by Acme Corp. My name is Alex Lee, and this is been my profile. So the way this has been imported inside the platform is pretty simple. I can either do this myself as soon as I get invited into Anthropos. So I could use my LinkedIn, or I could use my resume, for example, and I'm gonna import all the data. Or of course, the company could do all of this in bulk, just inviting all the people that they wanna have inside this account. And as you can see, as soon as I import all my data, something pretty magic happens immediately. So I'm gonna have skills mapped for everything that I've done in my career. So all of a sudden, I do have something that is very similar to what you could consider a LinkedIn inside the organization, but I also have Anthropos adding skills based on my experience. So for each single one, I can see skills. It doesn't matter if that's a work and a position that I had in the past or that I have now, a project that I completed, certifications, educations, content that I create online, and so on. And we're gonna see more profiles later. On top of that, since this is my profile, this is something that I control at the end of the day, I can actually step into each single one, and I can decide to change some of the skills that have been automatically added to my profile by Anthropos, add a self-evaluation for each single one, or even add more skills. So like in this case, I might want to use things like public speaking, and I set myself at 5. Or I might add something that is very technical like Java, or even more, I could add something that is like project management, and something that, of course, is in the middle between tech and soft skills. How does this happen? So we basically built a taxonomy that is available for all our customers that has more than 1,000 skills that automatically can recognize what I've done in my career, what are the skills that I most likely use in that role or in that specific project, and can give me all of these in real time. Now, these data are going to be very important as we continue on the demo, because of course, we're collecting all of these and we are indexing all these informations to then use them in the Anthropos Enterprise dashboard, right? Of course, this is my profile. One of the things that I see is not only what I've done, but also what I'm doing inside Anthropos. And as you can see, I do have a skill path that has been assigned to me by my company to become a product manager. So right now I'm an engineer, and someone basically decided that I'll be a product manager. Maybe I had a conversation with my manager. Maybe it's something that I decided to do for myself, and I asked my manager to assign that to me. But that's something important because it basically tells what that person is studying, what that person is working on as well. Now, if I go to my dashboard, what I can see is exactly the skill path that I just mentioned. I can see the number of skills that are in my profile right now. And I can see also all the skills that I've been working on lately, right? Because those are probably skills that I've been working on in the skill path. Now, the idea here is actually that I can enter my skill path, and a skill path is really a learning path. And it's something that I can find easily because it's either assigned by my manager or it's something that I can find in our library. A skill path is something that we create or the company creates or both of us, meaning like we always provide a list of skill paths that grows every month with new topics, with new roles, like in this case. But at the same time, every company that is using Anthropos can decide to build their own, right? So something that they want to build from scratch, or they can decide to come in, take one of these and personalize it, right? In this case, this is an example. It's a skill path that wants to teach people how to become product managers in the digital world. As you can see, it's being curated by people that have experience in that context, in that job. And at the same time, as you can see, it's divided in chapters, right? And every single chapter has skills, right? So as you can see, I'm going from introduction to product management, intro to leadership and ownership of product managers, to other chapters. Each single one has specific skills. And as soon as I start, so I could say continue, of course, as you can see, I started these already. It's going to bring me back in the first chapter that I need to complete, right? In this case, the art of product management. And as you can see, it's going to be a mix. So we decided to basically use video sometimes. Some other times you're going to find an article, like in this case. And some other times you're going to find a podcast, for example, right? Like in this case. So all of this makes this experience very immersive, but at the same time, something that you can do even if you don't want to stare at your screen for a couple of hours, right? Maybe you want to come back in just for 10 minutes and read something and learn something very specific. And then maybe you want to spend an hour during the weekend just watching something and completing a bit more of the skill path. Now, the skill path, as you can see, has a list of skills that are included in the path. Now, it turns out that some of the skills are skills that I have already, because maybe I acquired those skills in my career, maybe I acquired those skills in other projects or in other skill paths. So automatically, Anthropos is telling me that these skills are things that I already achieved. These things are potentially something that I already know. And so I should probably start focusing on the other skills that I still don't have. And that's something that you can clearly see, because in this case, these are skills that are already completed. So I can say, well, maybe this specific chapter is something that I'm gonna go back to in 2 days or 3 days or 4 days. Let me start with something that I don't have any clue about, right? Like product vision, for example. Skill paths can be assigned to people, as I said. I can use skill paths and assign that to me. And as you can see, they have a due date. So in this case, I need to complete all of these by the 28th of June. I'm currently ahead, so I can actually take some time to move forward. And of course, I can also expect to have job simulations inside the skill path, because the main goal of a skill path is actually teaching skills or teaching a role to your people. But at the end of the day, you might also want to verify those skills. You might also want to help them learn all those skills with an hands-on approach. And that's something that I'm going to show you in a second, right? Let's talk about job simulation. So Mario was telling us that job simulations are sandboxes, and that's really, what they are at the end of the day, but they are very special sandboxes, right? Let me give you an example that stays in the same family. This one is a job simulations where I am a product manager. I work for this company that is called Med Software, and all of a sudden my manager, who is the CPO, the Chief Product Officer, came to me and said, look, the board wants us to move a bit faster when it comes down to innovation and product management. And you need to go talk to some of our customers, talk to some of our stakeholders who have been using our software, and try to understand how we can do better, right? And how we can do better, basically for a product manager, means like you need to figure out what are the functionalities, what are the features that we need to build to solve some of the problems that these customers are bringing to us. And I want you, Alex, in that case of the simulation, in this case, Stefano, I want you, Stefano, to make sure that you use AI to do all of that. And second, that you can actually understand if all of these things are feasible from a technical perspective, from an engineering perspective. So you also need to go and talk to the engineering department and figure that out. Now, the job simulation is beautiful and it's very immersive because I'm gonna go and work with other people, like in real life. And I have this mission, I have this challenge that I need to solve, working with them. Of course, I have skills assigned to the job simulation. So it means that basically completing these job simulations, I'm gonna verify those skills. I'm gonna basically tell the system and tell my company, look, I do have hands-on experience with these skills. But of course, the beauty comes when I join the simulation. Let me start one that let me resume one that I already started. And as you can see, I'm gonna find myself together with my team, together with my customers, and I need to start talking to them. Of course, all of them are virtual, all of them are managed by AI on our side, but all of these makes things, very interesting to learn and to assess my skills. In this case, David, who is my boss again, basically told me what I have to do, what we were just discussing a minute ago. And then I can start asking questions to David, like, what is the timeline of this project? And David is gonna play the role of someone who, of course, is managing me and is helping me, is coaching me in his role, but also someone that wants to keep me on track, right? So, of course, he's also someone that wants to make sure that I don't do anything that is not expected. Like I could ask, more questions to David. I could ask, for example, hey, what kind of AI do we need to use for this? What kind of solution do we need to use? Or look, I don't know exactly what are the problems that I need to solve. Can you help me out, right? And then when I go to the customers, things get even more real. So in this case, Teresa is the head of customer support at the St. Louis Hospital in Chicago. I can read a bit more about Teresa with this description. And so I can get a bit more context about, how long she's been there, what she does exactly. And then I can start presenting myself and talk to Teresa. Like in this case, she's been using Med Software with our team. And of course, she's having issues. So my conversation is gonna be really like a product manager, a discovery on what, she's not liking, on what she's not appreciating of our software, but also try to understand exactly what are the main problems that I need to solve. Like in this case, just to give you a summary very quickly, she's basically telling me, look, at the end of the day, my team is swamped by the number of tickets that we receive, and there is no functionality inside Med Software that allows me to manage all these tickets in bulk, right? So I can actually keep asking questions. So for example, I could ask, can you give me an example of a ticket to let me understand more? Of course, as a product manager, I can ask any type of question. I can really dive deep into any type of detail or any type of story that I can find in front of me. And you should expect these people to really reply like in real life. Let's take a common example. We often receive tickets from patients who want to reschedule their appointments. The current process requires us to open ticket individually, look up at the patient's information, find a suitable time slot, and so on and so forth. So I could even insist and say, all right, that helps. Can you passed here one of your tickets, feel free to anonymize it. So I could continue the conversation for hours. This is a conversation that should last probably 10 minutes or so for each single person. But the beauty is actually that I can move from one person to another person immediately, and I can keep going. Like in this case, Luca is actually a colleague of mine. He's a tech lead on the engineering side, and I'm going to be working with Luca to understand what are the things that can be done? What are the things that I need to consider if I build this type of functionality or another type of functionality? So it's very immersive, right? How do I complete the simulation? How do I show the company that I have those skills, and how the company can understand if I really have those skills and at what level? So I need to fill out a final document that is basically asking me a bunch of questions to solve the mission. So what's the main problem all customers are having with that software? How would you solve the problem? And product implementation proposal and next steps. Once I complete all of this, what I can simply do is going back to David and say, hey, David, I completed my document. Let me know what you think. I hope it's gonna work because I think we've done this already in this case, but let's try this out. Let's see. So what I'm doing is basically sending my document to David, and on the back end, Anthropos is analyzing all the conversations that I had, all the answers that I gave in my document, and basically trying to understand where I applied my skills, where I did well, where I did not well, of course, and is going to tell me if I passed or didn't pass the simulation. Now, this is great because at the end of the day, as a company, of course, I can get an immediate result, and I don't have to visualize all of this and to review all of this when it comes down to skills. But second, I can also understand how this person would do in such a role, right? If this was a role. So in this case, it tells me, well done, problem identification, good, and all of that. Okay, this is something unexpected. I don't know why, but basically it means that I passed the simulation, and if everything was going well in this one, the beauty of being live, I would have something that says simulation passed, right? And of course, you can personalize all of this with job simulations. I could have, built any type of scenario, and I could have built, a scenario that has more soft skills or more hard skills. And of course, as you can see, at the end of the day, I can see exactly, okay, something happened with the simulation. Sorry about that. I can see exactly how people are using soft skills and how people are using the hard skills at the same time. And the system is actually able to recognize how do I do with ones or the others. Okay, time to go to the enterprise side of Anthropos. So of course, I've been telling you about using Anthropos as an employee. How does it look like when it comes down to the admin side? This is the list of people that I have inside this organization. As you can see, it's a pretty long list, so let's reduce it a bit. Actually, I'm expanding it, sorry. Let's say 30 per page. And as you can see, for each single person inside the organization, I can actually visit their profile. So I can go directly into their profile and look at what they've done, the skills that they have, their experience, where they're based, if they're working remote or if they're working in person or hybrid. I can see that some of them have a skill path assigned. And of course, I can assign a skill path to specific ones. Right now in this demo account, we have just one skill path. So what I can do is basically saying, I want to assign this path to this person, and she's going to need to study at least 6 hours per week. And I click assign. And she's going to get immediately a notification of the skill path, and I can follow the progress here. On top of that, we can organize people with tags. So it's pretty simple to put someone in engineering, put someone in sales, or even personalize your tags to group people with your criteria. Again, for each single one, I'm going to be able to see their profile, but I can also enable them to see other people's profiles, right? And you will understand why that's important, because using our search engine here, I can look for any type of skill, or I can look for any type of person or role immediately. Sorry, that's my typo, so that's JavaScript. And I can immediately find people that have that specific skill. And of course, I can visit their profile. So this is actually a great way also to connect your people, to make sure that your people can collaborate more together, because it's going to be easy for them to find people that they can get help from on solving something or working on a project, but at the same time, get help just, designing something maybe, or, even reaching out to someone and say, I would love to get your skills. I would love to get to the same level. How did you do that, right? So that's really a way for people to connect. But the beauty at the end of the day, when it comes down to the use of data, everything that we collected from their profiles and from what they're doing inside Anthropos real time is actually getting to the workforce intelligence. The workforce intelligence give us a 10,000 feet overview of their skills inside the organization. And as you can see, I can drill down on single teams or single tags, of course, and I'm gonna get the list of all the skills that are in this department. For example, I can click on one, like I'm looking for someone that knows version controls systems, and I can get the full list of people that have that experience. It's not in this demo, but I can even understand how those people acquire that skill. So is that because they've been using them in multiple jobs? Is that because they've been using them inside a project? So that is going to help me understand a lot more. And I can also try to understand what are the skills that have been verified and what are the skills that are just self-evaluated. So that is gonna give me even more ideas about people that really could help in a project, could help in a new role. Of course, I can see also the job roles. So Anthropos automatically maps all the job roles inside the organization. Companies can customize them, can define their own and with their own skills. But this way I can basically understand how my organization is structured. And if I want, I can even look at the main categories. Like I want to see, when it comes down to marketing, what are the skills that I have in marketing, and what are the people that have those skills? Like if I'm looking for someone for digital PR, I know that Francesca is going to probably be my person, right? So it gets very powerful very quickly. And our idea is actually to keep adding new insights and new data inside this dashboard. Pretty soon we're going to add, for example, certifications. So I'm going to be able to see exactly how many certifications we have inside organizations, what kind of certifications, and really track all of that in this simple way. With that being said, I think we've seen most of it. Last but not least, there is a component of Anthropos that is called Anthropos Studio, which is basically the way our customers can customize everything inside a platform, from skill paths, job simulations, to the skills. And that's something that I'm not going to show you here today. Probably we're going to do a specific one on that. But just as a closing point, as you can see, my skills have changed because, of course, I've been studying things, or I've been completing things in my skill path about that. And so, of course, when I mark this as completed, it immediately highlights the fact that I've been working on that skill. I think this is it. Let me go back to Mario and our screen. Okay, Mario, back to you.
Yes, thank you, Stefano. I was saying here that we have a question from Jack. Jack is saying, is it possible to share or work on different file document during a specific job simulation?
Yes, that's a great question. So that's actually something that we're working on. So that's a timely question. So pretty soon you will be able to download an initial file. For example, it could be a spreadsheet or it could be a presentation, and the entire simulation could be based on that, meaning like I might need to learn, first of all, what's inside that that file, or what are the data that are contained in that file, and then start working with that. But that's something that we're working on. So yeah, I think pretty soon we're going to be able to do that as well. Thank you. Let me see.
And also, yeah, I see also another question about skills. David is saying, how it works, our skills, probably the taxonomy, I'm assuming, is referring this question.
Yeah, the skill taxonomy is something that is proprietary at Anthropos. So that's a taxonomy that we've been building in the last year, and it contains skills across 38 categories. So you can find skills for sales, skills for IT, skills for engineering. So it's a very broad set of skills. And right now, our goal is actually to keep developing the taxonomy. So every month we basically add new skills, or we curate some of the skills that are inside the taxonomy, and they're even connected to job roles, right? So we do have more than 18,000 job roles that are mapped inside our taxonomy, and for each single one, you can actually discover skills and vice versa. But that's something that we keep curating. Of course, there are new skills that are always getting added for different industries or for different technologies, or even for soft skills, honestly. And so that's something that is continuously evolving on our side.
Yes, great, Stefano. And yes, I see another question. Yes, about the skill path. He's saying about the skill path in terms of integration of different sources. So if we have something specifically, or there is, in terms of customization, I would say that Anthropos Studio will definitely help on that. So
yes, that's exactly. Anthropos Studio is really the product that we use and we give our customers access to modify everything inside the platform. At the end of the day, the skill path is designed to be fully personalized, meaning you could use courses from Udemy, you could use courses from LinkedIn Learning, sorry. You could even link one of your internal Google Drive documents. So the idea is actually that you build something that is a mix of resources, maybe resources that you already have inside your organization, resources that are publicly available, but also resources that come from your documentation. Because of course, you might want to teach your people specific things about your business, right? And you can map all of those with skills to make sure that you can actually track all of that and try to understand what kind of skills people are acquiring, but also what kind of skills people are verifying with that roles, right?
Yeah, and probably I would also say that we are also working. So our team is also working on learning insights. So about the results, score of job simulation, but also about skill paths. So the idea is that think about that if you are looking to use our AI job simulation for hiring processes, the idea is that you can send out to your candidates one or more specific job simulation, and the platform will also show you the results of each of them, the score, and what kind of feedback in terms of improvement, in terms of what I need to improve myself to do it better next time.
Exactly. Cool. I think we're almost at time. So thank you so much for joining us today. Just as a quick reminder, you can go online, so anthropos.org. Just click on free trial, and you can easily request a free trial. You're gonna get a full account of Anthropos Enterprise for up to 10 members for 14 days. And of course, you can reach out if you need help, if you want us to guide you through the demo or guide you through setting that up. But I think it's pretty simple. And you can try every single feature that we have shown you today in the demo. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you, Mario, for helping us with today's webinar. And for any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.